Good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream, and I'm going to do your January the 31st Spiritual Principle a Day in a meditation. And we are going to use the subscription version today. You can reach me at recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. And you can also go to na.org and subscribe to get the Spiritual Principle a Day in your email, just like I do. Okay, let's go ahead and read it. January 31st, having empathy for each other. As I sit here in my cell, I know there are people out there following in my footsteps, and it brings tears to my eyes because I know the pain they are feeling. Behind the walls is Narcotics Anonymous for you. Before we find NA and a path toward empathy and healing, a lot of us find jails first. Some of us follow predecessors into a life we see no way out of. Others of us just see opportunities to take advantage, to make money, and to get one more that leads us down a similar path. And we take them because we're addicts. We push away those who care about us. We end up desperately trying to gain control because we have completely lost it. We live in constant fear and shame and do whatever we can to suppress those feelings. We refuse help. We end up locked up. For many of us, this cycle repeats over and over. Along the way, we get exposed to NA, and life behind bars gives us, let me repeat that. Along the way, we get exposed to NA, and life behind bars gives us time to consider our choices. We can continue down the path of self-destruction and harming others, or we can follow one toward healing that is available to any addict through the 12 steps. We opt for the latter and begin to follow different predecessors. We are shown empathy by our fellow recovering addicts through H&I at NA meetings run by other inmates, or when just a couple of us get together and make a meeting. Let me show you where I'm at so you can see it. We work a program in whatever way we can. Our hearts open, particularly to those we're locked up with, who we see struggling with their disease. We think of those from our past who are still running. We pray they find the hope and freedom that we've found. Word travels fast inside, so it's no secret that we're in recovery and available to help. We do our best to draw people to us instead of pushing them away. We try to be a good role model, and when the opportunity strikes, we reach out to the still suffering addict. We seek healthy companionship and solidarity with one another. We empathize with the pain of each other's past and the struggles recovery entails. I will take whatever actions I can to help others find and stay on the path that I have found. 2 addicts make a meeting, and I will be one of them. I will let another addict know you never have to use again. Wow, that's a beautiful meditation, man. Let's take a moment of silence, followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. This meditation it almost seems like to me as I'm reading it, I'm listening to the experience, strength, and hope of someone who has walked this behind the walls experience. They've been to prison or jail and they have found recovery, and they've made meetings with other recovering addicts in prison or jail. And the camaraderie that developed as a result of this commonality of the disease of addiction leading to the inside. I feel like it woke my energy up to this other sub-world that operates within Narcotics Anonymous, and why H&I is so important. Because there's people within the walls, right, in prison, that is their hope shot. That is their bottom. And when we carry the message inside to them, they start to be drawn to that light, attracted to it. And they know that if there's no other time in the world that they would be able to get clean and get what they need underneath them, hopefully, so that when they release, if they're releasing, because there's some people whose drug use took them to behaviors, crimes that caused great harm, and they were labeled as a danger to society and will never see the light of day in that sense again. They're lifers, or they might even be on death row. So there's some people that won't get out, right? But for those that will, there's this opportunity to grasp onto this fellowship on the inside. That's if there's a healthy H&I program in their area that brings meetings to them, so that by the time they get out and meet with their parole agent or probation officer, they have a bulletproof plan of how they can actually go about meeting all of the stipulations that they're going to have to meet. So I really appreciate this. I appreciate this meditation because they have an access that most of us don't have. They have a story that a lot of us will never have unless we go back to using. Anything is possible, right? And so I just want to say to those individuals that have had this experience, look at you now. Wow. Here you are on the outside. And you could actually be listening to this podcast on the inside nowadays, but for the most part, the people that are listening on the outside. And some of you may have actually had this experience of being locked up. And what a wonder it is to be able to say, I'm free in every way today. And if you're not free in every way, then being able to acknowledge that you're not free in every way. And you still have the tools to become free in every way. Because see, it's a thing to be locked up in prison where someone else has the key to whether or not you get out, right? You made poor choices and you were landed there. But in order to be set free, someone has to determine that you've served your time. And then to get out and still remain locked up in your mind, in your spirit, because you don't know how to take the key that you've been given of recovery and unlock yourself, set yourself free. And that's, to me, more tragic, because you could be locked up and free on the inside, right? You can be in prison and people notice, oh, That's a person that seems very free, even though they're doing all this time. Or you can be a person on the outside and people say, that person is in bondage. That person is not free. They're suffering from the disease of addiction and they haven't even picked up the drug because they haven't changed their behaviors. And it may not be soon before they actually pick up. Or maybe they become complacent and they're all right with their behaviors that are causing them dis-ease. Hopefully that's not you. My name is Mighty Stream. I've enjoyed talking to you today. I hope that you have a beautiful day on purpose. I intend to, and I will be talking to you tomorrow.